Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, one of our more popular shows these days on the Ramsey Networks. So be sure you check all that out. He's my co-host today. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Kirsten is going to start this hour off in Fresno. Hi, Kirsten. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Good. What's up?
Sadly, my parents both passed away in the past year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have 3 siblings. Sorry, I'm nervous.
That's okay.
I have 3 siblings that my parents had left the house to us in a trust. And it's just a little awkward now because I had been taking care of my parents and living with them for the past 5 years. So the house is where I live also. And I am just trying to figure out how I can split up the house without having to sell it or move out, because it's really the most affordable thing that I can afford right now, since I've been working just part-time taking care of my parents. And then
How long have your parents been gone, honey?
Well, my mom passed away January. My dad was about 8 months before then.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been 6 months.
Yeah.
So what are your career plans?
Well, before I was taking care of my parents, I was in the garment industry working as a fashion designer, and I'm trying to, I am getting my portfolio together and looking for, a bigger paycheck. Mm-hmm. And so that will help. But
when?
I'm sorry?
When? You haven't been taking care of your parents for 6 months.
No, I was taking
No,
care
it's
of
been
them
6 months since your dad's been gone.
Yes.
And your heart is broken. But
Yeah.
when are you going to get a job?
Well, I have had my part-time job, but I am looking for my previous career job.
For 6 months?
I haven't really started doing that until the past month.
Well, the past week, yeah.
Yeah, the greatest way you can honor your mom and your dad was to have given them what you gave them, which is your time. You're the one that took on the role as caretaker. It's an incredible gift. Mm-hmm. The next way you can honor your mom and dad is to truly live and cherish every minute you got left. And you can't do that when you're worried about not eating and not working. Yeah. And you're going to have to take on the responsibilities, shoulder the responsibilities. And what you're going to find is when you start carrying that weight, your body's designed for that.
Yeah.
It's going to feel great.
The reason I'm asking all this is if you buy this house from your siblings, you've got to be able to afford to pay it. And right now you can't.
Yeah.
So I got to work backwards into a job. That's why I started there, and that's why I pushed on you so hard, because I love you and I want you to win. Okay. So what is the value of this house?
Probably about $350,000.
Okay. Is it paid off?
No.
What do you owe? What's owed on it?
$178,000.
Okay. All right. And
do any of them want it?
No, they all have their own houses, and 2 of them
are there's 3 others. There's 4 of you, correct?
Yes, 4 of us. Yes.
Okay. So there's not a big bunch of money going to come out of this. You understand that?
Right.
25 or 30,000 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you were to land a good job in the fashion industry, what do you think you'll be making?
Probably at least $80,000 a year.
Okay. All right, good. You could go and get a home equity loan and buy them out. There's enough equity in the house. Keep the first mortgage in place. Just keep paying it, and then go get a home equity loan and buy them out. There's nothing wrong with that plan. But the thing that is wrong with that plan is you can't do that now because you don't have any income. You can't even pay the first mortgage right now. How you been paying the first mortgage for the last 6 months?
Well, my parents.
They left
thankfully,
some
my mom
money.
and she had an insurance, mortgage insurance that would pay for 10 months. So the mortgage is definitely paid for 10 months. So
Okay. There is a train coming at you through the tunnel that you are ignoring.
yeah,
You need more urgency on getting your income going.
right.
Because if you don't, you're going to lose this house.
Yeah.
I'd get a full-time job
Tomorrow.
and get my portfolio together in the evenings and on weekends.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'd go get a job.
Full-time.
Yeah.
And then I'd get
Yeah.
another job. And then I'd get another job. I think you need to be working all the time.
And I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you something wild. You're going to find healing in those little, not to quote Dave, but to quote Dave, those little baby steps of achievement and accomplishment. You're going to find healing there.
Yeah. So I think you can buy them all out. And the way you do it is you take the current value of the property times 80%, because that's about what they'll net, minus the mortgage, and divide it by 4. And that's going to put you at about $25,000. And so you need about $75,000 to buy them out. And a second mortgage HELOC will do that if you've got a good job. You can get that.
Yeah.
And then you transfer the property into your name out of the name of the trust, and you buy them out if that's what they want to do. But that's all they're going to get if you guys all just gang up and sell it, which also, by the way, Kirsten, is an okay idea. It's not a bad idea to sell this house. Before you screw around and lose it, be sure you sell it.
Yeah.
Don't let it slip away. Because
right.
we're just...
I would definitely do that if it came to that.
Well, it has come to that. Yeah. You have 3 months before this insurance runs out. I mean, there's a fire here. You know, I don't sense I don't sense any urgency in your vocal responses.
Yeah, it's almost a numbness to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hear us say, as much as we love you, this doesn't go away.
No, it's going to get worse.
It's
every
going
day.
to get taken from you.
Every day. Every day you're going to get more desperate. And you know who sells real estate super cheap? Desperate people. That's who give away property.
And rich people come by it and do well.
And get richer.
Right.
Because they're not desperate.
So, Dave, the tactically, how would you have to go through a real estate agent to split this up? Because I want to do it in writing.
You just have to go get an attorney and have the title transferred to her. With a quitclaim deed from the trust to her, and in order for that to happen, her siblings have to sign off, and they get $25,000 apiece at that table where they sign off, because you've set up a simple home equity loan, and so you got $75,000 on top of $180,000, so $255,000 owed on a $350,000 house. That's not bad. That's not a bad situation. It is a bad situation if you're unemployed. Yeah. That's an important part of this equation, y'all. This is The Ramsey Show. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Thank you for joining us, America. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The question of the day is brought to you by Neighborly, your hub for home services. Spring is here, and Neighborly can help keep your home and yard in top shape. With the Grounds Guys, Mosquito Joe, Lawn Pride, Molly Maid, and more. So spend time enjoying your home, not working on it. Go to neighborly.com and find the service pros in your area.
All right, today's question comes from Clark in Los Angeles. Clark writes, we have $3,600 in our bank account, but my wife wants to join a 6-week MLM training course for $10,000. It's her way or the highway on this. She was approved for a $5,000 credit card, and she applied for a $2,000 loan with our bank. The deposit on the course is $3,000, which she would take from our checking, leaving us with $600 in the bank. Then there's the payment plan. She's already been doing MLM for 4 years, which we have made zero profit on. Am I crazy to be mad about her on this matter? I need your help. Dave, I'm actually mad for Clark. Like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
This is somebody who's out of control.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's
Out of control.
Yeah. And the one of the most aggravating things about people that get into MLMs, not everyone, but some people that get in, they take on this cult-like thing to where if you're not in it, then you must be stupid. And if you don't understand what I'm doing, then you're an idiot. Because only people that are smart do, all of the smart people do this stuff. And if you don't understand, and they actually, some of the MLMs really, some of the hierarchies within certain MLMs will push that mentality. We caught Mary Kay about 15 years ago. I don't know if they still do it or not. They were telling ladies to use their credit card to buy the stuff and not tell their husband. They're telling them from the stage to lie to their husband.
Yikes.
And I'm like, man, that's some bad medicine right there, ladies. Mm-hmm. You guys are freaks. This is nutty. That's total greed run amok.
Well, that's looking in your checking account. You're $6,400 off.
Yeah.
Like when
Clark,
I first started reading
everything you've mentioned says that that this entire plan is stupid. Okay, it's out of control, but juiced up with a wife that says, I'm doing this because this is my way, even though there's absolutely no track record in 4 years that she's ever made any money doing it.
And there's no way to get this money. They might get this $2,000 loan, but the exposure to the whole family over this deal.
Yeah, and she's putting aside common sense. She's putting aside good financial decisions.
Her marriage fidelity.
She's putting aside her husband's wishes. She's putting aside the good of her own family, all for her to chase this greed. And this is greed. Make no mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to be able to buy a yacht. I'm going to live the dream, as the MLM people say. And so that is straight up greed. Yeah. And when you push everyone, including common sense, good financial sense, your husband's wishes, the good of your family aside for your selfish greed, you are a mess. You're a hot mess, lady.
Yeah.
You're messed up. So now what does Clark do? I think you guys have got to see a marriage counselor.
I think instantaneously, because I always tell couples, man, you be real careful with
my way or the highway.
My way or the highway.
Because people choose the highway.
That's exactly right. And use that for very, very rare circumstances. And she pulled it on an MLM training course. That's
a pretty big waste of that set of ammunition.
It's like being in Vegas and you're playing Texas Hold'em and they give you a 2 and a 6 and you're just like, I'm all in. Like, that's a bold move with this. So Dave, just because Clark's the only one we got here, right?
Yeah.
She's not a part of this conversation.
Well, if he has outlined it correctly, they got serious issues.
There's no question they got serious issues. This also feels like a power play. And sometimes there's power plays because people have lost their mind. They're jerks, they're nuts, they bought into something that is a cult and they can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes people smash the other side of the teeter-totter because somebody else in the marriage has been holding it down for so long and so long and so long and so long. And so, Clark, if that's you, if you have completely wrapped this house up in this is my way or the highway, and she finally says enough, this is my way or the highway, then that's something you need to put on the table.
You may have reaped what you've sown.
There you go. But if not, brother, I'm sorry. I would go see somebody this week, and if she won't go, you need to go by yourself because it looks like y'all are heading in completely different directions.
Yeah, this marriage does not last.
Absolutely not.
Without help.
Nope.
This does not help. Does not last, okay? Because she's ready to burn the place down for a dream that has absolutely no underpinning whatsoever. And she's ready to burn your family, burn you, burn the finances, burn everything, burn the marriage, all over a training course for MLM. Does that not sound like the dumbest thing you ever heard in your life? I'm getting ready to end every part of my life that's positive for that. That let me tell you, if you're in an MLM and you're recommending that your people downline do that, you should have your butt kicked up around your neck and wear it like a collar. You really should have somebody talk to you.
You're hurting people.
You're hurting people. You are a manipulative, unbelievable jerk. And you've got to stop that. And you're the reason that people hate MLMs is people like you that do that. Now, I actually know a few human beings in MLMs that are reasonable human beings.
Absolutely.
And they don't think I'm going to hell because I'm not in their MLM. It's not a cult, you know?
They believe in their products.
They believe in their products, and it's their method of selling it, and I'm not mad at them. That's not the point. The point is that something about the MLM culture generates ever so often a company or a hierarchy within a company that promotes this kind of crap.
Well, it goes back to what I think it makes me think of like Blockbuster. They made their money when their customers lost. They made their money on late fees, and they needed their customer to fail so that they could make their money, not the other way around. If you're teaching people, lie to your husbands, then you are making your money off a marriage that's going to fall apart. You're making money off deception. You're making money off hurting people, and there will be an end game to your business. Yep. You have to be about how can we help you, not how can we lie to you.
What's the long play?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How does everyone end up more whole, healthy, and prosperous when we're done?
Otherwise, your business will go if it's not about helping people.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example, all right? To go to Entree Leadership Master Series, I think the tickets are gone for Platinum for April of next year. Okay, there'll be about 3,000 people there. There'll be some of the top speakers in the world and teachers in the world. I'm very, very proud of what we will be doing. But to sit in a Platinum seat is just under $10,000. If you call me up and you say the way you're going to go to Platinum, as good as Platinum is, and it might be, and the Platinum Experience is, and as good as Entree Leadership Master Series is, might be the best leadership conference in America today, bar none. I mean, I'm so proud of what we do there. We just completed one. You got high marks on your speaking there. It's absolutely incredible. Dr. Jordan Peterson, Willie Robertson were there with us, and Malcolm Gladwell were there with us. It was an incredible, incredible event. And we had guys on the front row that paid almost $10,000 a piece to be sitting there in that Platinum section. If you call me up and you say the way you're going to come and sit in the Platinum section at Entree Leadership, as proud as I am of it, and as I know it's worth every dime, is that you're going to clean out your bank account down to $600 and you're going to go against your spouse's wishes, I'm going to tell you, I don't want you as a customer.
And you're borrowing $7,000. Yeah.
You need to stay home.
Absolutely.
I do not want your money. You need to stay home.
Because I don't want your marriage's blood on my hands.
I don't. This is not what I do.
Right.
I don't do. I mean, I sell something like a $10,000 weekend is my point. And never one time have we knowingly accepted a situation like this and encouraged this is the way to get $10,000 out of somebody. Nope. Nope. Don't need the money that bad, boys and girls. I got to sleep later. It's not that hard a life, you know? This is just wrong. So, honey, Clark, get your marriage counselor. Because when your wife says my way or the highway on anything, this is known as a flare was just shot up off the deck of the boat. Warning, warning.
And that boat is going down.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you are here. Tom is in Greensboro, North Carolina. Welcome to the Ramsey Show, Tom.
Hey, how y'all doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
All right, so I'm going to get right to the point. I'm in financial peace. I got every dollar. But my dilemma is that I share custody of my son. My schedule allows me to have him on the days that I'm off. But if I'm going to pursue getting out of debt as quickly as I need to, it would result in me having to give up some of those days. And that is the part that I'm struggling with.
How old is he?
He's 1.
How long have you all been divorced?
Over a year.
I'm so confused.
So
he's 1 and you've been divorced over a year?
Yeah, so it happened all kind of at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So about the same timeline. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll make him the same age as the divorce. Okay. That helps me a little.
Sir.
All right. And so,
Yes, sir.
all right. Now, what do you do for a living?
I drive a truck.
Over the road?
No, I'm local.
So you're working 40 hours?
With overtime, I'm looking at about 90 every 2 weeks.
45 hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how much debt do you have?
So total debt is, let's call it $27K. It's $26,729.
And what do you make now?
So my take home is $60K.
Okay, so your typical day when you're driving truck, not when you're with your son, you go to work at what time?
About 10 a.m.
Okay, and you drive then until about 8 p.m.
8 p.m., yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right, that gets you your 45 hours. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What about on the days you don't have your son? You're at 50-50, you said?
Yes, sir, yeah.
What days of the week is that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What day of the week is that?
So we work on a 2-2-3 schedule.
Okay.
So it rotates every week. So basically in the 2-week period, I get him 7 days out of that 2-week period.
Okay.
And I'm just struggling with, do I want to give up one of my days and have a babysitter or have a family member watch him while I go and work?
If I was you,
yes, sir,
I would be pretty intentional about getting up at 5 a.m. on the days I don't have to be in until 10 and drive Uber and Lyft in the morning.
So I am doing a side hustle as well.
Okay.
That kind of tacks into the
What is that?
60K. So it's Amazon Flex.
Okay. All right. So you're doing
very similar,
you're doing that in the mornings before you go to work.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in a strange way, and Dave, you've done this longer than me on this particular question. If this was inside your home, I would if you and your wife and your boy lived inside in the same house, I would tell you, hit the gas, work 7 days a week, and get this $27,000 off your chest.
Yes, sir.
The fact that this is broken up in this way, with how rapid a 1-year-old develops, 6 months of no dad
that's not okay.
It's glaring. It's too much.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I'd rather slow the roll on paying off the debt and make sure I've got that time with my son because that time is precious.
What
right
is
now.
the $27,000 in debt? What kind of debt?
I knew you was going to ask. So $20K of that is car.
God almighty, sell your car. It's your kid.
I know.
No, you don't.
You didn't. Yeah, you don't know because you didn't. You had to ask. Why'd you have to ask? And you didn't even want to tell us because you knew we were going to say what you already knew you should do.
It's your kid.
Yeah.
Don't trade your car for a kid.
Yes, sir.
Sell your stupid car this week.
What kind of car is it, Tom?
So a Honda Civic.
Oh my God! Don't trade a Civic for a kid for sure.
Tom.
Not even a really cool car. I mean, come on.
Yeah. If it was like a Mercedes.
Well, I mean, if it was a a vintage Camaro, I mean, give me a. Oh my gosh, no, I mean, no,
Tom,
I'm kidding around, Tom. But
you
hey,
thought
really,
through this.
really,
Why?
really, you got this figured out.
You thought through it.
Get you a $1,000 car, and take care of your 1-year-old, and get your butt out of debt, working and live on beans and rice and beans, and do not miss a single day that you have available for this child. He is the most important thing in this conversation. I will affirm you as being a good dad. You have a good heart. You were aimed at the right thing. You knew you needed to do that, but you were trying to make the math work and keep the car. And so we get to tell you the classic Ramsey Show line, sell the car.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to do it?
Yes, sir.
Good. How old are you, Tom?
I'm 32.
And you're a good man. This kid's lucky to have you as a dad.
And here's what Dave and I are also giving you. In about 10 years, he'll be 11. He'll make you real mad. And in a fit of rage, you can turn and stare him directly in the eyes and say,
I sold a car for you.
I gave up a Civic for you. And then he'll be like, seriously? And you'll be like, yeah, that didn't go as hard as I thought it was going to.
Not much of a flag shot.
I thought that was going to go way harder than it did, man.
I gave up a Civic for you. I just don't think that could leave your mouth.
Wow, Dad. I'll let the school counselor know next time we meet. Jeez. Sell the Civic, brother.
Oh, Tom, you're a good guy. I appreciate your question.
Love Tom. You're awesome, brother.
Yeah, here's the thing, folks. Very seldom are we as boxed in and trapped as sometimes we feel like we are. Because sometimes there's a simple thing. You can throw a stick of dynamite right in the middle of it, blow it up, and you go, oh, well, look at there. And, there it is. Oh, that's so great.
But I do think it's important if you're in the household together and you're not making eye contact every day, but there is passing, they see you every day, then I'm going to tell you to go run and get this thing done because the long-term stress in your household is not going to be worth it. That stress exists.
But in that case, I would sell the car too.
100%, yeah.
If I'm worried about
I would
being
drive
there
a John
for my
Deere
1-year-old.
where I need to go.
If I'm worried about being there for my 1-year-old, 100% I'm not trading a car for that. There's not a circumstance.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Not happening. John's in Portland, Maine. Hey, John, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks so much for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
All right, so I've been listening for a while and love your guys' show. My wife and I have been doing really good at paying down everything. We owe right now about $171,000, and $115,000 of that is on a mortgage in the house we live in. And $56,000 is my student loans, which I've actually paid down from $180,000 to
Good
this
job,
point.
John.
Way to go, man. That's awesome.
So we're at the point now where we don't owe anything else. We own our cars. We own everything else. We have about $300,000 not in equity in the house we live in, but that's what it's worth now with a $115,000 balance. And we actually paid off a rental property that we owned 2 years ago when I opened my own business and tripled my income. So we're at the point where we've been letting our grandmother live there as kind of like a mitzvah, like as a good deed, and she's ready to move out because she has dementia, unfortunately. And the market is fantastic, obviously, especially in Maine. Price values have gone up and are staying here. And we don't know if we should invest a little bit of money into the property and continue to rent it or to just take advantage now.
How much is a little bit of money?
What's the property worth
What
now?
would you invest into it? Why does it need investment?
Because it just hasn't. Our grandmother moved in.
What do you
right
need to
after-
spend quickly?
Probably $60,000.
No. Not when you have $60,000 in student loan debt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It would take years to get back what we could
If
just
you
make the
can't,
one-time
if you can't
profit.
fix it up for a few $1,000s and get it going, you probably need to sell it. But otherwise, I'd try to keep it because I love the idea of keeping a paid-for rental property and knocking out 56 when you've had all this other success. But
And if the house rates are going up, people are going to rent it.
We're not going to turn this thing off that's been working and go over and fix a rental house for $60K. Now, if you want to spend 5 or 10 on it, you can probably pull that off and still get your student loan paid off by Christmas. Let's go do that. Keep the rental. But no, not 60. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Debbie is in New York. Hi, Debbie. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, I have a quick question for you. I am the surviving spouse, age 72, of a Vietnam vet. He passed away 32 months ago with service-related injuries. We had filed for the VA disability benefits back in 2017. Was documented, proven, submitted. I did it myself because no one was available to help me. It was denied, but I appealed, and now it looks like I have won the case. However, they're not coming through with anything. They said the claim is now at our regional office in Buffalo, New York, and that I would be receiving a letter showing the VA money or what they call the VA rate with the rate of disability, and if additional benefits were to come to me like medical, dental, vision, etc. So I don't know what the amount will be or if it will be. I call them honestly every week because I don't want to fall through the cracks, and I know I have to keep on them.
Good for you.
They keep saying they are backloaded because of the pandemic. They don't have enough support, and I said,
you know what? You know what helps that backloading?
Yes.
Whining, nagging widows. I love you. You're awesome.
Yes.
You're a gangster, Debbie.
You are getting it, girl. I love you.
That's what the man at the VA told me. He goes, I can't do any more than you've done because you are like a
force
chipmunk
of
with rabies.
nature.
Yeah, and I will not give up.
I can tell.
He died of congestive heart failure and stage 4 kidney disease. They lost the records. They found the records. Now they tell me I'm top priority, but they don't know when it's going to come through. Yeah. However, in the meantime, I have been paying off our medical debts. I'm down to about $5,800 in medical debts, which I'm paying on my visa. I do not owe any loans. I have a mortgage of about $134,000. I guess my payment's about $1,100. My pension from my husband's about $1,100. His Social Security is $2,703, and I owe no other debt. What I wanted to know, should I take from the 401? He has about $170,000 in the 401 to pay off the mortgage and the remaining $5,000 visa, or should I just keep the money under
170 in the 401, and
yes, sir.
The mortgage is how much?
About $135,000. That's the balance.
So it leaves you almost broke, doesn't it?
Exactly. By the time they take out taxes, then it'll put me in a higher tax for my county and school taxes.
What's your house worth?
My house is worth, I would guess, probably around $275,000. I can afford it. I am living, let's just say I can't go on a cruise like the other lady who called in with my niece or anything like that, but I can't go on vacation right now. I'm making it, but it's not really, I'm existing. I'm not really living, I'm existing. They did promise some type of income, but again, it depends on the rate of disability.
Okay, let me tell you what is bothering me, okay?
Sure.
I love the idea of you having not having the house payment. I hate the idea of you having no money.
Okay.
You got $170,000 right now. So that's what's bothering me. So what ends up happening is if we say, all right, let's cash this out, pay the taxes, and pay off the house, and you got almost no money. I mean, 10 or 15, 20,000 bucks is left over max. Okay.
Right.
And but you're 100% debt free, and you've got these streams of income to live on. All you got to do is pay your property tax and your insurance and your groceries and your lights, and you get a life, right? That all works good. But if an event happens, that's a $30,000 event, you got no money,
Right.
and you're probably selling the house if that happens. Do we want that risk?
No.
Okay. I might be okay with that if you said, yeah, I'll just sell it and get me an apartment. I don't think anything's going to blow up, but if something big blew up and I had a $100,000 problem, I'll just sell the house and get me an apartment and go on. But you said no really fast.
Right. There's nothing around this area that you can live in. My mortgage is cheaper than a 3-floor apartment downtown in the flood zone. However, if they do come through with a monthly income, it could be anywhere. Maybe they're saying maybe $1,500, but they're not sure. Depending on the rate of disability. Is there any
money that they would owe you in a lump sum back for having not paid him his disability for a number of years?
That's what they're trying to figure out. This should go back to 2017, but now with the PAC Act that was installed last August, it may go back only maybe 9 months, which would still be a decent amount for me to pay off the visa and just have my mortgage.
Yeah. That's a good move right there for sure. We're doing that one. But if you got like $30,000, that might swing this then. I might pull the 401k because at least I'm not down to. I'm afraid you're going to end up with 10 or 15, 20,000 bucks when all the taxes are paid and the house is paid off and the visa is paid off, and then you have an event happen that's $5,000 or $6,000 more than you've got, and we put the house at risk because we kept no cash to protect the house. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
But if you got a lump sum from the back pay on the disability of $30,000, then now I'm starting to have a $30,000, really a $50,000 nest egg at that point. I'm probably paying off the house then. That helps me get there, but I'm just scared. I don't want you to.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have to dig up the bushes and eat them if you get tight. You know.
Exactly.
Are you living off Social Security right now?
Yeah.
I only had his. When he passed away, I only received his. Now, I did have mine. I worked all my life, and now I am also disabled, so I'm not able to go out and get a job, although I do side work on the side. I pet sit, I dog sit, I do alterations, so I'm making, a few $100s a month just to keep my, lights on, as you said.
Yeah. I think I'm going to let it swing on how big the lump sum coming from the VA is.
Okay.
And then, and you call me back if we can help you, okay? Hey, you want to go through Financial Peace University on us? You want us to pay for it and you go through the class on how to handle money? Would that help you?
Oh, I would love that.
All right. Hey, we're going to give it to you. You hold on, and Skylar will pick up, or whoever's in there. And who's in there? Jenna's in there. I'm sorry. I can't see over the thing.
Great Jenna.
Okay, so, it's just, And so, anyway, she's going to pick up, and we'll get you set up because, one of the things is people of faith, people of the book tells us that we take care of widows and orphans. And so that's what we do. So, and let us know if we can help because that's a very tight situation. So,
and I'm glad you mentioned that. Dr. Peter Attia was on my show yesterday, one of those brilliant medical minds. And one of the things we talked about was as you age, one of the most unheralded, unknown risks that outpaces everything is falling. And my mom turned 71. She was just at a gas station, and it wasn't like her body failed. She just stepped off something a little bit wrong and sheared her shoulder off at the bone. This is a year or two ago. But I love that you told her that because she's going to look back on her life, this incredible woman who's strong. She's just bustling ahead. And at 72 years old, it takes 1 inch wrong going up a staircase, and you end up with a $30,000, $40,000 broken arm. And in her case, that wipes her out, right? If they don't come through.
Yeah.
There's just, the risk is so much more accelerated that way.
Well, and from a financial standpoint, those of you out there that want to learn the financial terms, having cash, we used to say when we opened the show, cash is king. Dead is dumb, right? Having cash, liquidity is the financial term, which I always thought was kind of funny, but liquidity having some cash is an insurance policy against losing your home. And that's what we're dealing with there. We were taking her to no liquidity, having no cash, no buffer.
That makes me real nervous.
Oh, man, it's making me nervous just talking about it. And it's not even, I mean, it's just somebody one of our listeners that we love, but it wasn't me. But, I mean, I can't, the idea of being cashless, I like a big pile of cash. I do. It's just something about it. Because it buffers you against, all of a sudden a crisis becomes an inconvenience when you have the money.
Or it lets you spread things out a little bit.
But if it's all in your house and you got no money, now I got to sell my house because I got a crisis. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Dr. John Deloney. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. It is a free call. Johnny's with us in Boise, Idaho. Hi, Johnny. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. How can we help?
So I'm a self-employed contractor. I'm 46. My wife's 40. We don't have anything saved for retirement. We have an auto loan, a mortgage, a little bit of credit card debt, and we're just wondering what the best plan moving forward is from here. We have about 110 in savings.
Okay, so how much debt do you have, not counting your house?
I have a truck loan there's about 40 left on it.
Okay, and that's your only debt other than your house?
Yeah, a couple thousand in credit card, but we usually pay that off every month.
And you have 110,000 in savings in cash?
Correct.
Not counting retirement?
I have no retirement. There's no 401s, nothing.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 46, and my wife is 40, and she stays home. She's not employed.
All right. And what's your household income, sir?
It varies, but I would say it's probably around 90 to 100.
Good. Okay. All right, Johnny, I get the sense from the words you're using and the way you asked this question that you're fairly new to this whole Ramsey discussion about money.
I am, yeah.
Okay. All right. So our whole thing is, when I was in my 20s, I went completely broke because I was stupid and I went into debt up to my eyeballs buying real estate. And that taught me a lesson that stuck with me the rest of my life. I'm now 62, so I have lived 35 years with zero debt. Okay?
That's awesome.
And that has given me the control of my most powerful wealth-building tool, which is your income. And it's easy to visualize this. If you had no payments and you were in control of your money with a written game plan where you're telling every dollar what to do, you could enjoy life and also invest aggressively and not be broke because you make good money. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because your car payment is what, $800?
It's about $750. Yeah,
almost like I've done this before. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right, and so $750, and see, if you invest $750 a month from your age until retirement, you'll be a millionaire.
That's awesome. That's what I want.
Yeah, you got 20 years, so you'd be a millionaire. And so, but instead you got car payments, and no plan, and you just kind of wander along and go, I got some money saved, but which you did a good job, $110,000 in the bank. You're way ahead of most people, right? I mean, that's pretty impressive. But you kind of almost fell into that because it's not like you got some detailed plan going. I'm not picking on you. I just know you because I used to be you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Understandable.
Okay. And so what we have taught and what Sharon and I did after we went broke is we got on a detailed, in-depth plan, and we became in charge of the money, making every dollar behave. Sometimes it behaved for generosity. Sometimes it behaved for investing. Sometimes it behaved so we could have fun with it. All right?
Okay.
And so then what we discovered is, again, your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. So if I woke up in your shoes, what would I do? I would take some of the $110,000 and pay off your car today.
Okay. So my wife told me.
And then I would get your credit cards out and I'd cut them all up.
Okay.
And I'd pay them off.
Even though we use one mainly, and then we usually pay it off at the end of the month.
You know what? If you use a debit card on your checking account, it does everything your credit card will do, and the money comes straight out of your account, so you don't have to pay it off at the end of the month. It already came out.
What about the cashback advantage that we get, like the points we earn from it?
So far, it's not caused you to be rich.
Definitely not.
And by the way, brother, they're not your friends, so they're not hooking you up with free money and flights every time you use their card. They're making their money. You spend more money than you would otherwise because you can just pay it off later. And it's psychological. It's research, and it's data, and it's data, and it's data. We don't tell you to get rid of them because it's fun for us. We just look at the data, man.
Yeah. So when we talk to millionaires and we study researched millionaires, we find that they make every dollar behave. They're in agreement with their spouse. They quit borrowing money, and they invest, and they're generous.
And they pay off their house.
And then they pay off their house is the next thing. So I'm going to take 110,000 minus 40, which leaves me 70. You make 90, so I'm going to set aside out of that 70, 30,000 in a separate high-yield savings account. We're going to call that your emergency fund, and you never touch it even if you have an emergency. It's just sitting there for really bad days. Okay?
Okay.
And then that leaves us about 40 grand, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Okay. And do you have children?
I do. I have 3 minors at home.
If anybody's going to college, you're going to need that 40 grand.
I'm not sure yet. They don't know.
Yeah.
They're kind of younger still. So.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to an investment advisor about setting that aside for them. So you got an emergency fund. You're debt free. I've used up your 110. You're going to get on a detailed budget, and you're going to start putting 15% of your household income away in a 401k or Roth IRA. We'll show you how to do every bit of that, Johnny. If you want to do it, I can show you how to do it. But what we're doing is we're going from, I eat everything in sight anytime I want to eat it, and now I'm fat, and I don't want to do that anymore. So now I'm not going to eat everything in sight and be fat. Because I did that. I ate every donut in a 50-mile radius, Johnny, and I got fat as a hog. Just a sloshing hillbilly hog. It was awful. And so I had to quit eating everything in sight because it didn't work for me, you know? And I had to say, okay, I'm going to actually take care of this body. I only got one. And your money's the same way. You got to make it behave. You can't be disorganized, chaotic, and impulsive and end up anything but broke. And that's the thing. So you really have done some very good things in this process. But, dude, I'm getting ready to send you to boot camp if you want to do this, and you're going to come out totally fit and wealthy.
And if I had a punk rock band, the first thing I would do when this show is over, I would call and say, we're changing our names to the Sloshing Hillbilly Hogs. We would be incredible. Incredible.
Well, Battle of the Bands names. Here we go.
I know. I may have to change our name.
That could happen right there.
The Sloshing Hillbilly Hogs.
Didn't even know those existed, did you? It's its own breed, John.
Yeah.
So,
so I think it's important to call, man. Poor Johnny here was just doing what he was told to do. Like just doing what he was told to do.
It's by everybody out there.
Everybody out
Normal
there.
people. I'm going to get my points. I'm going to save some money.
I'm going to get a big, super nice truck.
You're always going to have a car payment. And I just work my butt off and have nothing. And it'll kill you, man. You feel like a rat in a wheel. Johnny, hang on. I'm going to give you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, that details out the plan I just gave you and shows you exactly what to do. This is The Ramsey Show.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Hey, guys, how many of you are thinking about buying a house, but you're cringing when you think about the debt for the rest of your life? A 30-year mortgage is not your only option. Hey, you don't have to fall in that trap. You can borrow, and if you're going to do it, we don't recommend any more than a 15-year fixed rate. It'll get you on track to pay off your house fast, and you pay a ton less interest. Of course, the monthly payment is higher and scares people off, but you know what? Buy a little less house. You don't have to be intimidated. The free mortgage calculator on our website can help. It'll give you an idea of what your monthly payments would look like, could look like, should look like. That way, you'll know how much home you can afford, so you can be mortgage-free in 15 years or sooner. RamseySolutions.com, click free tools, and you can use the mortgage calculator and get confident about buying a home. Click free tools, RamseySolutions.com. Minnesota is next, and Devin is with us. Where is Alexandria, Minnesota, Devin?
I'm about an hour and a half northwest of St. Paul, Minnesota.
Ah, cool. Okay. Hey, did you hear the Vikings paid off their stadium?
Yeah, with the tobacco tax, I'm not surprised.
Okay, cool. How can we help?
I've got a 2015 Dodge Charger, and I owe $15,200 on it. It is valued right around $8,000. I make $65,000 a year, sole income from my household. With bills and everything, I'm right around $3,600 a month. I make about $3,800 a month. How do I get out of this car?
You make how much a year?
I'm salaried at $65,000 a year. My at-home takes right around $3,800.
What in the world is coming out of your check before it gets home at $3,600?
That's how they paid off the stadium, Dave.
That's right.
No, really, no. I mean, you don't have $3,000 a month is coming out of your check. Where's it going?
I pay taxes, and then I guess I really haven't broke it down other than I pay some child support.
Out of your check?
Yep, pay $200 a month for child support.
$200 a month before you get the check?
Yes.
Okay.
So are your wages being garnished for back pay?
No.
Okay. Are you paying? Okay. Did you get a huge tax refund last year?
Yes, we did, and I've been listening to your show for a few months.
How much was your huge tax refund?
$18,000.
Okay, I found it. Okay, because I couldn't find the $2,000 a month, an $18,000 tax return. Okay, so here's how we fix your car problem. We go in tomorrow and change your W-2 withholding on your check by $1,500 a month. And that will mean you get zero tax refund because 18,000 divided by 12 is 1,500. Okay? So you're going to bring home 1,500 a month more and pay all of that on the car, and in 10 months the car will be paid off.
That makes sense.
Ta-da!
$18,000.
That is why I called.
So yeah. So the moral of the story, Devin, is a tax refund is not a gift from Santa Claus. He does not live in Washington, D.C. The reason you're getting a refund is you had $1,500 a month too much taken out of your check, and it sits in Washington with no interest at the IRS all year, and then they send it back to you in April after you file your taxes, and you think they did you a favor. It was your money all along. And so all I'm doing is putting your money back to work for you. Folks, you should never get a tax refund. You should always adjust your tax withholding to where you don't owe any, but you also don't get a refund. $100 one way or the other is the most it ought to be off. You got to pay $100 extra out of your withholding, or you got to get a $100 refund. But you don't need to be getting big refunds. And for sure, it is not a blessing. I'm old. I have been around. I personally know Santa Claus, and he does not live in Washington, D.C. That's not where he comes from.
Though there are some old people in Washington, D.C.
There's some people desperate to remain in Washington, D.C. that are old. It's scary how the mummification process in that town is pretty amazing.
I think they put embalming fluid in some of the local beers.
Well, or you can buy it by the gallon at the local plastic surgeon. I'm not sure which. All right, James is with us in Chicago. Hi, James. What's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I'm selling my current home, and I'm scheduled to close this month, actually. I'm also getting married in the next month. And
Wow.
I'm building a home. Yeah.
And
then
you're
we're
building a home
in the South. Yep, at the same time.
Good Lord.
Lots of life. Yeah. So we're also building a home in the Southeast at the same time, which will be where we'll be starting our family. So we're actually waiting for that to finish up before we move. So what I'm trying to figure out is between my savings and the profit from the current place that I'm selling, I'm trying to determine how much I should put down on the new home, because I have quite a bit, and I'm kind of trying to go back and forth between some of the things you say and throwing as much as I can at the house and trying to make that debt-free as soon as possible, or taking some of that money and putting it with my financial advisor for them to invest it.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. So you already told me what I'm going to say.
There's a decent amount of a gap, though, is the thing. So
No, it's not.
No, there's not.
No, it's not. You know exactly what we say. You were very clear on that. So all you've got to decide, James, is which of these methods you think has the highest probability of building wealth. Okay? Getting your house paid off as soon as possible, or borrowing on your house to place the money with your financial advisor. Because effectively, by not putting the money down on the house, you have borrowed on the house to put the money with the financial advisor. You understand that, right?
Correct.
And so if you had a paid-for house, would you go borrow on it to put money with your financial advisor? Because that's so smart that you're going to get rich that way. Obviously, obviously, you know I don't think that.
Yeah, and to your point, I think my point of view is I think that psychologically being debt-free as soon as possible, I think if you take the number of years, I'll probably say 10 years from now, I think the same amount of money probably goes into the market. Just once I'm as close to being debt-free, that I'll be much more aggressive. But I'll still have probably a $250,000 to $300,000 mortgage that I'll have to pay off, because it's not a cheap house. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But
how old are you?
But 30.
Okay. Well, obviously, James, you can do whatever you want. You're like a 30-year-old man. So, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But let me tell you that you're wrong, and you called here to ask. And so the data tells us, when we talk to millionaires, we talked to 10,167 of them, and when we did detailed, in-depth research, the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, the number of millionaires that we talked to that said, the reason I am a millionaire is I borrowed as much as I could on my house. I limited how much I put down on my house so that I could put the money with my financial advisor in the market sooner, and I carried a mortgage that was the net essence of this, so that I had more money in the market, and that money in the market and leveraging and using my personal residence as a way to get rich caused me to become a millionaire. The number of millionaires that said that was precisely zero, James.
Sure.
And here's my promise. Here's my promise.
So you go with your plan or you go with theirs?
my promise to you, James, is this. You're the guy who sold a house, got married, and tried to build a house in the same month. Good for you. You're a hustler. You always have a scheme, and you always got a plan and a plan and then a plan on top of that plan. That money that you think is going to be in the market in 10 years won't, because your buddy in your new place will have talked you into real estate properties, and you own a couple of duplexes because you sell it on Instagram. That money won't be there. Pay your house off and be free, my brother, and then you can invest as whatever you want.
Yeah. Quit looking for a shortcut.
Be
dude.
free.
The fastest way to get rich quick is don't. This is the Ramsey Show. Hey folks, you know that sinking feeling when you make an offer on a house you love and then you hear there's another offer? You need the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge. Super fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate. Plus a $5,000 seller guarantee gives your offer the best chance of being accepted. The Home Buyer Edge from Churchill gives you an advantage over those other guys. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Thank you for joining us, America. Hey, if we all have people who tune in every episode on this show, right? You know we have people that do that. It's a little shocking to me, but they do. And we're happy for you. We're glad you do, and we're thankful for you being there. But some people listen all the time, and they still feel stressed. Like you know what to do, but you want me to tell you to sell the car? This is silly. Okay, you don't have to do this. Knowing what to do with your money isn't the problem. Doing it is the thing. Personal finance is 80% behavior, only 20% head knowledge. And the proven way to change your behavior with money is by taking a financial peace university class. The class is the difference between trying to get in shape on your own versus hiring a personal trainer. You'll have a coordinator that holds you accountable, encourages you, other people in the class pushing you and cheering you on. This is why the class has worked for over 10 million people. And after 9 weeks, you will never handle money the same way again. You will make progress faster than ever. Don't just listen to the show. Commit to doing what it takes to win. Join an FPU class at RamseySolutions.com/FPU. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Terry is in Charlotte. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for taking my call, and thank you for what you do, sir.
Sure. How can we help?
I want to know what I need to do with a pension plan for when I work for the state of North Carolina. And I'm 50 years old, so I can start drawing the actual pension if I need to. But I'm in the private sector now, so I don't plan on going back to the state. But they'll pay me a one-time payout of $126,000 if I take the one-time payout. Or I can start drawing now for the rest of my life $2,600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I set it where I collect or my wife collects, where as long as either one of us lives, it'll decrease it by $180, so they'll pay $2,420 for as long as either one of us live.
Okay.
And she's 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Or just for the fun of it, I ran the numbers, and I could put my son, who's 3 years old, in, and they'll pay $2,270 as long as me or him live. Well, which way do I go with that?
Yeah. Well, there's a thing called the time value of money. Would you rather have $10,000 today, or would you rather have $10,000 15 years from now? And the answer, of course, is today. Why? Because you could invest it, and it would be worth a whole lot more than $10,000 15 years from now. So the $2,200 that the 3-year-old will receive after your death is not $2,200. It's $2. You follow me? Because it's so far out into the future that it doesn't create any real money. So because of the time value of money. Now the normal answer to the equation on this is take the lump sum and roll it to an IRA in good growth stock mutual funds. Now, in your case, the payout on this is so high, it's a very good payout if you don't do that, that you probably won't make as much per month. Okay? So if you make...
The state to keep it sovereign, the state to keep this program sovereign, if I take the payout, I only get the money I paid in. If the money that the state pays into the pension, I only get that if I take the payout, and that's what makes the payout so much better. Yeah,
I know. But the payout, the solvent is the word you're looking for. But yeah, but still, so if you take 100, you said 130,000 is the payout, the lump sum, right?
126.
126. Okay, so 10% will be $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month, half. Mm-hmm. If you made 12% on your money, or 10% on your money, so you're gonna make half on the payout, which is unusual, but that's because of what you're talking about. The state's match portion, they're not offering you on the lump sum. Is there a point later that the lump sum is better?
No, it doesn't get better. If I wait till I'm 60 to draw it, they'll pay me $3,200 a month. Or if I wait till I'm 65, they'll pay me $3,600 a month.
I wouldn't do that. I would take the draw now if you're going to take the draw. So here's what I'm going to recommend. All right, I would sit down with a good investment professional. Click SmartVestor at RamseySolutions.com. You can find who we recommend in your area, the SmartVestor pros, and let them crunch these numbers with you and show you what you're dealing with. Because basically, if you took it and rolled it to an IRA today, and you were to start drawing on it today, which you couldn't do, but you would draw about half about what you would get if you just start taking their draw, which is a lot different. Okay. However, and depending on which scenario you choose, someday when someone dies, this pension goes away. The $126,000 in your name is always in your name, regardless of who dies when. So it would go to your wife, it would go to your kid, it would go to your grandkid, it would go to wherever. It's now in your name. You don't lose it. But with a pension, when you die, or if you've got the extensions, when someone dies, it's gone. It goes poof. Okay? So there's a $126,000 swing not going poof, that also goes into the mathematics. It's not just the monthly compared to the monthly. Because if you leave it, for instance, let's just say you leave it just for your name and you take the full payout just for Terry, okay? Terry dies. The thing goes poof, right?
Right.
So you got an extra $1,000 a month, but yes, you lost $126,000 on your death.
Do I take the $2,600 and then use part of that money to go buy life insurance?
Yeah, that's what you can do. You could go the other direction, and that would back fund it. That's exactly the right plan. So I think that's why I want you to sit down with someone who's not sitting on the radio trying to figure this out in my head and work this with them, because what you've got is a very unusual thing because the state, 99% of the time I get this question, the payout is less than you would get if you invested the lump sum yourself. Because most pensions are calculated on a 7% rate of return, and you can make 11 to 12% in a good growth stock mutual fund. So you're going to whip your pension on terms of rate of return, and you get more per month and more if you die. So it almost always makes sense to take the lump sum and roll it. In your case, what's happening is you're losing the state subsidy of it. Mm-hmm. And so that's doubling the payout if you take the monthly thing. So they're really pushing you to do the monthly thing. They don't want you to cash it out. The math is telling us that. So sit down with a SmartVestor Pro and crunch the numbers and either backfill it with life insurance and take the full pay. I would take the full pay just in your name and then backfill for your kid and your wife with life insurance if you want to buy some term insurance, and then reinvest some of that money. Don't just consume it all. If you reinvested all of it, now you got a really good plan. Just real fast, $2,200 a month is going to become $126,000 in an investment real fast.
Yeah, just putting the math, looks like it's going to be about 5.5 years to catch back up.
Does that include rate of return?
That's just $2,200 a month.
That's just piling up the cash at zero.
Yeah,
interest. Zero. Yeah. So it's about a 3-year. Should be about a 3-year turn, really.
Maybe.
Yeah, and so that's the. But for those of you listening, if you get the opportunity to take a lump sum payout on your pension, almost always, because of it going poof on your death, you come out better off. Your family comes out better off, and you better off by rolling it to an IRA in good growth stock mutual funds. There's no taxes on it that way, and then and it grows at a greater rate, and you don't lose it all when you die.
I had never thought of this, but I've been concerned about the solvency of pension plans, especially city and like municipalities.
Some
for a
of
long
them are in
time.
serious trouble.
I hadn't thought about this as a clever out for them, which is going to strongly discourage. It's just going to kick the can down the road, but it's going to strongly discourage people from taking a lump and walking away.
I mean, think about what it does to a fund's numbers if you're paying out $2,200 instead of $126,000.
Yeah, you can
go a long time.
You can get your annual bonus
and go a long time. So yeah, it helps keep them liquid and helps keep them stable on the balance sheet side. Love it. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Daniel's in Pensacola. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
All right. So I got a quick question. I'm trying to get to the point here. I'm in the military. I serve in the Navy in here in Pensacola. I've been in for about 15 years. And I have a unique situation, but I just don't know how to go about it. I want to be intense, but I want to be intense in the right direction. So we just started the baby steps, and me and my wife, and after a few months, I've got her on board. We're both heading in the right direction and trying to knock off debt and things like that. And I'm trying to find ways to lower expenses and increase income, and we've got the expenses down as low as we can. I'm trying to find ways to keep doing that. So now I'm thinking, okay, how can I make more money? Obviously, I'm in the military, so making rank is one big one, and I'm hoping to pick up chief this year. That'll be a big increase in pay for me. But in the meantime, I was saying those results don't come out until August. So I'm like, okay, I need to pick up another job because I have a lot of free time here. I'm on shore duty. I'm currently in school, and I've considered getting out of school or stopping school temporarily.
What are you studying?
Second job, accounting. I'm going to school for an accounting.
Why?
Because once I leave the military, I'm retiring in 5 years from the military, and I'm going to pursue being a CPA.
Good.
That's
Good plan.
The Navy's paying for all of that right now, and that's what I want to do when I get out.
And so your question is quitting school?
Yes, to pick up a second job.
No. No.
Stay in school, brother. It's free.
No.
Go get it.
It's free. It's a good degree. Don't give up the long term for the short term. If you can give up the short term for the long term, that's always a good trade.
How much do you owe, brother?
We're about $80,000 in debt right now. And
is it just haunting you?
I tried to do the numbers.
What do you owe the money on?
It is because some credit cards which I cut up, and a truck payment. We have one paid off car and one truck that is.
What do you owe on the truck?
It's at 49, and I looked into selling it to get rid of it, and we can get about maybe 37 on it. And I was so frustrated because I was getting ready to get rid of it.
No, I think you can get more than that. I think that was trade-in value that CarMax offered you, and I think you can sell that truck for 40, and you need to sell it.
Go down to a credit union and get a loan on the difference, and you cut your debt from owing $50,000 to $41,000.
Or no, it was 80, wasn't it? 80 grand. Yeah.
Yeah, $80,000. Sorry, yeah.
You get rid of half your debt, over half your debt, and yeah, definitely doing that.
That'd be a big relief.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you keep working on the accounting. Is your long play? It was a good long play.
I'm retiring in 5 years.
Yeah, it's your long play. Don't destroy the long play for a short-term gain. No, don't do that.
I appreciate your hustle, man. You're turning over every rock you got.
Yeah, you're
right?
thinking with the right level of urgency, and I appreciate that for sure. I agree with John. That's not the way to go. I'd get rid of the truck. I'd make chief, and keep working on your accounting degree, and you're going to plow on through this. So, what is your household income today?
So my wife has gone on board and she's been helping me out. By myself, I bring in roughly $75,000 a year.
And what are you going to? How much of a bump do you get? How many thousand a year extra do you get if you make chief in August?
It's going to be roughly $500 to $600 a month.
So $6,000 or $8,000 a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And what does your wife do?
My wife, she homeschooled my children at home, but she did pick up a gig to stay close by in the neighborhood, and she's been helping me bring in about $1,800 a month, nannying for military wives or for military couples around our area who need the nannying jobs, and next door neighbors across the street. She's got people all in the neighborhood. I'm like, wow, nice work. And so she's been helping out with bringing some extra cash in.
I know I'm wading into treacherous waters here, so YouTube people, keep your comments to yourself. But brother, if I was going to make a sacrifice right now, I might consider putting my kids in a local school and my wife working full time, and let's squash this thing in 12 months and be done.
Sell the truck for sure.
Sell the truck, go get a full-time job, put the kids in a local school, and then let's reconvene in 12 months, because you'll have cut your debt almost in half by selling this truck. And then between your $80,000 you're going to pick up, you pick up that extra money in a few months, man, plus she's making 35 to 45 to 50, man, you can get this stuff knocked out quick.
Yeah, that'd be a short play. Wouldn't be a long play. But thank you for your service, by the way. If you don't do that and she keeps nannying and picks up more and kicks it from $18,000 a year up to $25,000 a year, that'd be a big help. You make chief, that adds another $6,000 or $8,000. That's a big help. And you get rid of the truck, boom, you're going to be done in 12 months. So if you really continue to lean into this, and what I most appreciate about your question and your approach, Daniel, is you're actually thinking about this and you're willing to do just about anything.
And there's an importance in the military. They call it berserker mode. Is good, but you got to be wise about going berserker, man. Don't go so bananas that in 7 months you've just created a quagmire.
Yeah.
You're getting there, man. Good for you.
Get you into a mess. Davis is with us in Grand Junction, Colorado. Hi, Davis. How are you?
Good. It's Dave.
What's up?
Just a quick question. So we have a paid-for condo that we're living in right now. We purchased another house, and we're going to be moving into it in the next month. Excuse me. And then we're wondering if we should pay or sell the condo to put on the mortgage of the new house,
yes,
or keep it as a paid-for rental.
Yes. You should sell the condo. You know how I did that so fast? If you were sitting in your house one day and you said, I'm going to go borrow more on my current residence to buy a rental condo, you would never do that.
No, sir.
Same difference. Just reverse the process.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind rentals. I don't pay, but I pay cash for them after my residence is paid for. So if you're sitting on a paid-for house or a largely paid-for house, you don't go borrow money against it and buy rentals. That would be dumb. Even if you pay cash for the rental because you borrowed on the house. It's not cash, but it's displaced debt. But yeah, replaced debt.
No, Dave, but Instagram says I have to have a rental home or I'll be poor forever.
TikTok says that you can have $57 million of rental homes and be 26.
And have no mortgage debt. Or you don't have to pay a penny.
No, because the renters pay everything. because renters always pay.
Right on time.
And they never tear up anything.
And there's never been such thing as a 1 to 2 year pause on people having
and
to pay.
The heating and air unit on the rental house never goes out.
And roofs are perfect.
Especially if it's an Airbnb, because we all know that if you're on TikTok, that you're doing Airbnbs. Because everyone knows this is what rich people do. You guys are hearing the sarcasm font, right?
It's frustrating, man. Here's what's frustrating. It's predatory.
Get rich quick is human nature. There's been a version of it for 35 years I've been doing this show. There's always someone pitching get rich quick of some kind somewhere. And new digital methodologies and social medias only give it a new place for this cancer to grow. And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, boys and girls.
There used to just be that one person at your church that chased you around trying to get you to join in. Now, if you click on it a few times, that's all you will see all day, every day, 24/7, 365 until you finally cave.
Hey, listen, start watching cute dogs on Instagram. And the more you watch it, the more it'll feed you cute dogs. It's better than watching nothing down real estate morons.
You know what? I'm going to talk to a buddy who's a researcher. I want him to run that study. I want him to get 100 people that just watch cute dogs. That's all they are allowed to look on.
There's some funny dogs.
Real funny.
Yeah. Once you watch one, they'll send you another one. And once you watch one moron on Nothing Down Real Estate, they'll send you 2 more morons on Nothing Down Real Estate.
And in case you're wondering, there is moments when we're walking through Ramsey Solutions building and Dave's in the corner just laughing to himself.
Scrolling cute dogs.
That little dog photo.
That's it.
That's right.
You know that's happening. Y'all can just see that, can't you? This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Genesee is with us. She is in Springfield, Illinois. Hi, Genesee. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hi. So I am a fresh new baby graduate, and I'm about $217,000 in debt. Both of my parents didn't go to college, so I don't really have anybody to talk to about like loan repayment and things of that nature. I did luckily get gifted your course from a Facebook group that I'm in, and I'm on step 2. But I'm wondering, so I'm a single parent. I'm 26 and she's 10. I had her at 16. And I just did school straight through, so no working in between high school, undergrad, and then I just graduated from veterinary school.
Oh, wow.
So I have my doctorate.
Wow, good for you.
Good for you.
Thank you very much. I'm just wondering how realistic it is, because it seems like I'll never get to step 3 with that much debt. And I know, like I said, I'm on step 2 in the course. And I see a lot of like married couples.
We work with a lot. We work with a lot of veterinarians in entree leadership because a lot of them come through to learn how to run their business, the business aspect of being a veterinarian. And so what I'm discovering just in having conversations with them is that there are veterinarians working in a practice that don't own the practice. Lots of them that are making $125,000, $150,000. There are a whole group of them too that are making $60,000 and $70,000. And so, what I would tell you is don't get too caught up in a certain area of veterinary medicine. Get caught up in the area that can make you the most money for a little while.
So I've actually signed on to a practice. It is a corporate practice, so I don't own it, and I don't have any stake in it. I start Monday, actually.
Okay.
And
what's
my
the pay?
base is going to be $105,000 a year.
Ding, ding. Sounds like my information's accurate. Yeah. Okay. And you'll be going up pretty quick in that. That's just your starting, and so you'll be at 125 within a short period of time. So I'm pretty close. All right. And you're used to living on nothing.
Yeah.
Because you've been a college student your whole life.
Loan. Yeah.
Okay. So if you lived on nothing, how much is nothing?
My rent at my house that I was living in in my vet school was about $550. I was one of 5 roommates. And then my mom was helping me with my daughter at that point in time. So now when I've moved back to my hometown, the rent here is pretty insane. It's going to be about, for me to rent and not, have a mortgage, rental homes and rental apartments are looking at about $1,100 to $1,200 a month.
Okay.
And then,
that's $14,000 out of 105.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we got to eat. And we got to pay lights, and we're not going to go buy a car on payments.
Yep. I have a car. I've owned it. It is on its last leg.
You're a veterinarian. Just prop the leg up.
Yep.
All right.
And then living expenses, and then just
here's what I'm saying. All right, $55,000 a year minus taxes is the most you can spend to live. The other $50,000 goes on your debt, and in 4 years you're done.
Okay, so you think it wouldn't be worth signing up for like an income-based repayment?
Why would you want to stay in debt the rest of your life?
I don't.
Okay, let's get out of debt in 4 years.
Okay.
Genesee,
or sooner.
Okay.
I'm talking to a woman who, at the age of 16, with most people, are trying to figure out how a blinker works on their mom's car, had a child, and you have managed to be a mother and a daughter and a graduate student and now a veterinarian.
Making $105,000 at 26 years old.
You cannot sell me on the fact that you can't, quote unquote, do something.
You can do anything.
I wouldn't fight you for all the money in the world. You're incredible. My friend Jade Warshaw, who's also co-hosts this show, her and her husband had almost $500,000, and they did not have veterinarian in their holster. They were music students, and they did it. Here's what's going to be frustrating for you. You have been waiting for this moment for so long, and you're Dr. Genesee now, and that car is going to stay the same, and that lifestyle is going to stay the same, and that 10-year-old kid that you promised, just wait, is going to have like 3 more years to go.
Now they got to wait. Because it's going to take you 4 years. Okay. It's going to take you 3 to 4 years to do this.
And you can also work shifts on Saturdays and Sundays, and maybe even do emergency medicine overnight if you need to, and let your kids stay with your mom every once in a while.
If you go pick up another $50,000 doing that, you can be out of debt in 2.5 years.
Okay, so it doesn't seem unattainable.
You can do this.
So here's the big math. Okay, take $200,000 and divide it by the number you're going to put on it a year. I put 50 a year on it out of your 105 a minute ago. Then John added some work to your life, and we put another 40 or 50 on it. So 50 a year into 200 is 4, right?
Right.
This is attainable. And by the way, this is not static. You're not going to only make 105 for the next 4 years. And the extra income, you're not going to only want to do that forever. So, but if you go made another 30 or 40,000 bucks, and now we put 80 on this, what is 200 divided by 80? 3. Not even.
Okay.
2 3/4, right? Okay. You following me here? It's a big number, math. You don't have to have a master's degree in math and finance to pull this off. You just divide 200 by the amount you're going to throw at it, and that tells you how many years it's going to take for you to get this done. You're going to get it done very, very quickly.
And here's underneath the math. My mom, I've told the story on the show, my mom at 42, the age of 42, took her first community college class, one class, and it was either geometry or algebra, one of the two. We took it together. I was in high school. Fast forward to 57 is when she graduated with her PhD, and she became a tenured professor at 63, and she teaches her last year at Oxford this summer in her 70s. I tell you that to tell you, I had a ringside seat to a mom who completely transformed her life, and it was hard, and she was busy, and she had to miss games, and she was working on Saturdays and Sundays, writing papers and reading and doing grad school work. And as an adult, she took away every single excuse I could ever have because I got a ringside seat to watching a gangster be born. And so your son is going to watch you, and you're going to feel guilty. I want you to think of the long game. He's going to watch his mom teach him through action. He can do anything.
He's married to, his mom's a warrior princess.
It's incredible. You're giving him the gift of a lifetime.
Yep. Way to go. Proud of you. Good work. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Hey, guys, if you like this show, and a bunch of you apparently do because you've been helping us, thank you. Share the show. Click the share button or share the link, depending on where and how you're listening. Subscribe or follow if you're on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcast, or let people know if you're listening to talk radio or watching us on TBN. Let people know that we're here and
Speaking
share.
of Apple, are we going to do a virtual reality headset Ramsey Show?
A what? Headset? What are you talking about?
I forgot. Your TV is still black and white. Never mind. No, they had they announced their new VR headsets.
Oh, those things. Oh, yeah, the
Apple
Oculus.
Apple announced theirs yesterday.
Yeah, it's not a headset. It's an Oculus. What's wrong with you?
Well, I live in the woods, so there we go.
Okay. So, no, we're not.
I saw James wearing ski goggles this morning, and I thought that...
No, you didn't. Yeah, Apple announced their new version recently.
Okay. All right, yeah. I
was trying to make the show sound trendy, and I just sounded dumb, so there you go, America. Way to go.
Worked out well for you. And, you got a couple of troglodytes here trying to figure this out, but
we're like a Far Side cartoon,
so I think that means we're not doing it. That's what I think.
I'm going to go with a no on that one.
Yeah, that's a no. The stock market's been all over the place lately. It's gone up and gone down and then back down, and you're freaking out. Don't. Market dips don't mean you have to retire broke. You got to keep a long-term perspective. Look at all the facts. If you invest $100 a month from age 25 to age 65, you'd have around $1 million at retirement. No, that's not too good to be true. That's based on what the long-term average of the S&P 500 is. And a huge predictor of investing success is not the rate of return, but that you actually invest and you keep investing. So no matter how old you are, no matter how much you invest, and investing intimidates you, you can invest with confidence, and you get a pro in your corner to do it. A pro helps you with the heart of a teacher, so you start to understand what's going on, because most of your freak out is just from lack of knowledge. And you don't have to get a master's degree in finance. You just got to have somebody in your corner go, hey, dude, this is how this works. Hey, so we can connect you with a smart investor pro. They eat, sleep, and breathe investments, and they'll take the time to teach you, to work with you, so you understand what you are investing in. Go to RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor and find a SmartVestor Pro today. RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor. Karen, is in Vermont. Hi, Karen. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks for being willing to talk to me.
Sure. What's up?
So, 4 months ago today, my husband passed away.
Oh, Karen, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Karen, what happened?
He was very sick for a long time, just a collection of severe vascular disease and cancer and lung disease.
Oh, my. How old was he?
This past weekend was his 71st birthday.
Oh, man.
His what birthday?
71st.
71st.
What was his name?
Danny.
Danny?
Danny.
Awesome.
Okay. I'm so sorry, honey. How can we help you?
So I am working like a dog. Just trying to, I've gotten a lot of debt taken care of since he passed. Got our mortgage caught back up. We were 2 months behind. So that's done. I'm a month ahead now on our budget, my budget, which we never were. We were always 3 months behind. I'm a month ahead. I've gotten there. But I'm working 95 hours a week. And I need to stop that. So I need to figure out how.
Okay, when you say you've got your budget caught up, you're current on all of your bills.
I am.
Okay. Do you have any money saved?
No.
Do you have any debt?
I do, yes.
How much?
I owe $22,000 on the car and $44,000 on the house, and then there's about $2,000 in miscellaneous things.
Mm-hmm. And what are you making?
Right now, I am making $4,400 a month.
Okay, cool. And do you have any money saved at all? No.
No.
I figured.
I have nothing.
Well, no life insurance either, I assume.
No, because we were losing our house, so we had to do away with life insurance due to the house.
Now, you've gotten current on the house, and you're current on the car, right?
Yes.
Now, okay, have you done a detailed written budget where you take $4,400 at the top of the page and assign every one of those dollars a number each month before the month begins?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Does that give you that must give you a better sense of control than the chaos you were living in?
Very much.
Good.
Yeah,
Proud of you.
Now it's the only thing I have control over. It's really the only thing I want control over.
Yeah, but you've turned this whole thing around in the worst season of your life. What you've done is Herculean effort. I'm so proud of you. That's very, very difficult to do what you've done.
You've been a great help. I've listened and watched you on YouTube for years, and I have done Financial Peace University.
How long ago?
Several. My husband was not on board in any kind of way.
Yeah. How long ago did you do FPU?
I think probably somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago.
Okay. I want you to go back through as our gift. If I pay for it and give it to you, will you go back through it?
I'll do it.
Yeah, because that'll give you you have a fresh new, because you've worked so hard to push the chaos to the side, you've got a freshness to your hope in the middle of your grief and loss, but it's a weird sweet and sour moment for you in that sense. But there's a freshness to your hope, and so I think you'll see things in the class and learn things that you didn't have the ability to see before with the clouds. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'll pay for it for you, and you just go through as our gift. Is there anything in particular we can help you with today?
I need to figure out how to expedite getting all of the debt taken care of, meaning the little 2000, my car, the house, so that I can cut back. I'm doing 2 full-time jobs plus a part-time job.
Well, I mean, the shortest method is to clean the miscellaneous up and sell the car.
Okay.
And move to a cheap $5,000 car.
How old are you, Karen?
I'm 40.
Okay. You're 40?
And we had a May-December marriage.
That's fine. I'm just making sure your phone is a little bit muffled, and I want to make sure I heard you. I wasn't questioning. Okay. I just didn't know. Okay. All right. Good.
So here's another thing that's going to happen. You, and I've sat with new widows who look up and they say that what I think is one of the most haunting questions. What do I do now? I got to go to work because there's no money in the house. And that's what you did. And you've done that for 4 months now. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to let your foot off the gas sometime in the near future because you're running yourself into the ground, right?
Yeah.
When you do that, you're going to have to feel what just happened.
Yeah.
And that's going to be terrifying, right? You've been able to run and sprint and run and sprint to survive, and you haven't had to sit in. You lost the love of your life.
Yep.
So here's what I'm going to do. If you'll take me up on it, our friends at BetterHelp, I'm going to get you 3 to 6 months of free counseling, and you can do it from your house on the internet. Will you take me up on it if I get that for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's going to give you somebody to talk to completely for free. Our BetterHelp's great friends, and so stay on the line, and Jenna's going to hook you up with that as well.
Yeah, so we'll put you in FPU and do that. So we walk with widows in a special way, Karen. Anything you need, you call us. We'll help you out. If you can hang on and pay off the car, that's fine. If not, if you need the relief faster, the fastest way to do it is dump the thing. So hang on, Jenna will pick up, take care of you.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Thanks for being with us, America. Common sense for your dollars and cents and for your life right here on The Ramsey Show. Common sense is now so rare in America that if you have it, it's like having a superpower. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Brandon is next in Whoa, he's not there. Let me try that. I'm pushing the wrong buttons here. You know, Dave, you ought to learn how to do radio. All right, Brandon is in Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, Brandon, what's up?
Hey, not too much. How are you today?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
Hey, so my wife and I completed paying off our debt about 3 years ago, and then following that, she decided to pursue her dream of writing and trying to get traditionally published. And that was 3 years ago, and to this point, she's still working on finding an agent and getting published. And over the past, I would say, year and a half, it's gotten tougher and tougher for her, and she's been battling a lot of anxiety and depression over all of the constant rejection that she gets in the querying process. And she has a very low self-worth. I do try to encourage her all the time that, she's doing the right thing, and, this is her dream, and it's going to be hard, and all of it's going to be worth it in the end. But all of the social pressures from friends and family about her not working and not bringing in an income also bring her self-worth down. So I'm really just trying to figure out how I can help her, how I can encourage her to keep pushing forward, and what I can say that might help her through all of this.
How just husband to husband, how honest can I be with you, man?
As honest as you want.
Can I be pretty direct?
Yep.
Unfortunately, in an effort to love her and really to keep her from hurting in the moment, man, it may not all work out. There's a high statistical probability that she's never able to get an agent. And even if she does get an agent, Dave, you'll know the number better than me, but I think the average book sold in the United States is in the double digits, maybe the triple digits. And so, I mean, I'm a YouTuber, for crying out loud, so I'm all about go for it. But there's also a market reality. And I know that's hard because all the Hollywood movies tell you there's this one guy that just, put all of his life savings into this thing, and then it all worked out. They just don't tell you about the millions of people who did that and it didn't work out. And so I think the greatest gift you could give her is this notion of reality and this come back to earth and this, hey, let's put a deadline and agree that in 3 months, by August 1st, by September 1, let's sit down and not have a hard conversation about if you're a good writer. I'm certain she's a good writer. Not that you haven't written a great book, not that any number of things. But what's the deadline for how far we're going to keep pushing on this thing?
Well, what is she writing?
She writes young adult fantasy fiction novels.
Which is a very hot market and a very, very crowded market, right?
Yes, very much so.
What do you do?
I'm currently with the U.S. military.
What do you make?
I've been in for almost 10 years. $90,000.
Okay. And you said you guys are in what kind of financial condition? You got out of debt, so she was able to do this, right?
Yes.
So how much do you have in savings?
We have about 3.5 months in savings, about $13,000.
Okay. All right. So I don't think this is what's going on, but I want to say it out loud so that everyone involved, including you, doesn't accidentally let this be what's going on, okay? We shifted about a generation ago, or maybe even 2 generations ago, to this idea that if we told people how wonderful they are, that they are automatically wonderful. That if we told them they had high worth, that they would believe it and have high self-esteem. When the reality is that high self-esteem comes from the opposite of low self-esteem, comes from actually achieving things. You get calluses. Mm-hmm. You get some wins under your belt. If you're a football coach and you lose every game for 6 seasons in a row, you will have low self-esteem because you have lost every game. Something is substandard in your football coaching. Hello. Or the people you're coaching, there's some kind of a problem here that is systemic. And so this idea that somehow, now does that mean you're a bad person? Does that mean we hate you? No, it doesn't mean that. But what goes with losing that much is the struggle with self-image, right? And so it's not to say that you can't, but getting some calluses, getting some wins under your belt will do that. So I'm with John. I've published a whole bunch of books. I've done them with publishers, without publishers. We are a publisher now. We publish John's books as an example, bestsellers. Nothing in the genre that you guys are in. We don't have anything fiction out there. That's a wicked, weird, different market for sure than the one I'm in. It sells a lot more books if you get a hit, but it's harder to get a hit. Like my friend Brad Thor, who writes crime novels, he sells 15 million on every book. I got one book that did over 10 million, right? And I think I'm a big success. But every single one of those Brad Thor, Scott Harvath books goes 10, 15 million copies. It's wonderful for him, and I'm pissed off about it. But that's what fiction's just a much bigger market than nonfiction. So she's in a good market, but it's also, as John said, it's a very thin market. So if I were in her shoes, I'd be looking for some wins or some exits, and I would work this as a hobby while I had something else. So it would sound like this. We're going to get an agent and a publisher by the close of this calendar year, or we're going to put together some money and print 5,000 of these things and put it on Amazon and try it, self-published. And you can go out and do readings at libraries and coffee shops and try to get in front of some young adults in some college classrooms or wherever your market is, and get some people starting to read it and a few people buying it, and see if you can get it to catch fire, and we'll self-publish it and we'll push it out there. But we're going to have to do something rather than sit and waiting on the roast duck to come in. We're going to leave with a gun and shoot the freaking duck. Pluck the duck and cook the duck. So we're not going to wait around anymore after the first of the year. And if you're not willing to do that, that's okay. I understand. But this other plan's not working. It's killing you right before my eyes, and I love you, and I'm not okay with that. Does that sound weird?
How does that sound? How does that hit you?
I mean, no, it definitely puts a little fire under me,
And I'll tell you this.
I do want to see her succeed and everything. So.
Oh, I know you do. And you want her to be whole, and you want her to be happy, you want her to see her laughing again. And nobody, probably more than her, you're such a fan of hers, you want her to have a #1 bestseller on the fiction list and all that. Totally get that. Sometimes, not even sometimes, I would say the majority of the time, after 3 years, 4 years, it's the wife that tells the husband, hey, this invention's not going to work. Will you try something else, or can we try something else? And it gives him... he can finally drop his shoulders.
Now, even if you keep writing and you keep putting it on the shelf, you got to have a day job.
That's right. But
you're getting some wins.
She might be so relieved to hear you step in, is what I'm saying. She may hate you, maybe hit you with her manuscript. That could happen too.
You know what? I think it'd be better. Just blame it on me. It's my fault.
I'll take some too.
Yeah, tell her Dave and John are
these two morons
on the radio, on these YouTubers show.
Yeah.
Both of which have had #1 best-selling books.
But I like Dave. I like Dave's line that is really important. I'm watching my wife wither away in front of me, and I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Because I love you that much.
Yeah. You just tell her the truth, man. That's the thing. But yeah, self-esteem does not magically appear without some success. Confidence doesn't come just when you can't read, but you are good at self-esteem. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Matthew 13:16. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. Brene Brown said, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. Denya is with us in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Denya. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Yeah, I just have me and my husband. I'm 52. My husband's 54. We don't have anything saved for retirement, and I wanted to possibly go back to school. I'm a registered nurse, and if I went back to school, my income would go up. As an advanced nurse practitioner, that's what I was thinking of going towards. But we do have a lot of debt. I don't know if it's practical at my age and his age. He was concerned about that.
It's 100% practical to go back to school. It is a dreadful idea to borrow money to do it.
Okay.
I have 100% confidence you could get through an NP program. Please don't borrow money against it.
So, where do you work?
I work part-time in hospice, or PRN, and also at a nursing home, PRN. Mm-hmm. I do a few days a week with both of them.
Mm-hmm. So I would check out some of the local hospitals and see if they will hire you, and then have an education program that pays for your NP. Where you are, they don't have that ed program, but a hospital would. You work as a registered nurse in a hospital. They'll pay for you to get your NP.
Yeah, the local hospital is probably about an hour away. I did work there years ago, and the distance was the issue. And it is a graduate degree. I don't know.
They'll pay for it. They want NPs. Someone will. Someone in corporate medicine will pay for an NP. Now, they're not going to the nursing home. They're not going to a nonprofit. And they're not going to a hospice or a PRN situation. None of those that I've never seen one of those that has a program that pays for it. But hospitals and large doctor practices that are corporate owned, most of them have an education program and would love to have their registered nurses become NPs. They need them.
Gotcha.
I'll also tell you this. It doesn't hurt to ask where you are. One supervisor I went to at one point, we didn't have a program, and I said, hey, I really want to get this. Will you help me with it? And he said, no, but I'll send you to Harvard. So he sent me to Harvard for a program. Then another boss, I said, hey, can I take this money and move it over here for graduate school? And she's like, I never even thought of that. Absolutely, go for it. And that's how I got my second degree paid for. And so it may be worth sitting down and saying, I'll go full time, but I need some help on this. Or here's what I want to do. Will y'all help me get there? The worst they can tell you is no, and you're right back in the same spot, but they may surprise you.
You may have to go to a full-time gig somewhere to get that, though.
I think you're going to have to go to a full-time gig wherever you are.
You got 2 part-time gigs right now, right?
Yeah, about part-time, yeah.
Yeah. And, you're making good money, possibly, but you might make a little less money and have them pay for your degree. And do y'all own your home?
We do. We have a mortgage.
Okay. What does your husband make?
He makes about $50
and what do you make?
About $35.
Yeah, you're not working much.
Mm-mm.
Registered nurse ought to be making $70 if they're working $40.
Why aren't you working that much?
Well, I just took a breather for a little while here. I've just been home with my girls and just kind of taking care of stuff at home.
What stuff is at home? Kids?
Well, yeah, I just got my hours cut a little bit. I needed a break a little bit. But I did.
How much debt have you got?
We have a lot. How
much?
Mortgage is $260. Credit card debt is $330.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a student loan that's $15,000 for my bachelor's, which I took out when I was working at the hospital, and they required.
You guys need to sit down and have some soul-searching conversations, didn't you? Because I've talked to 2 different women on this phone. One of them was willing to lay it all out on the line and go back to school and go in debt to get a degree, an advanced degree as a nurse practitioner so she could make more money to get out of debt. The other one isn't even working much and doesn't do anything except sit at home. These are 2 different women, and I talked to both of them in the last few minutes. Did you hear me?
I understand what you're saying.
The woman that I'm talking to that doesn't want to work much doesn't need to go back and get a degree.
Is there something else going on?
No, I'm just.
You sound like you have some heaviness in you, like in your soul. You sound exhausted, but exhausted spiritually.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that all out.
Okay. All right, honey. So the way we're going to get you out of debt is we're going to get your income way up, but that's going to involve a lot of hours. And I can get hope from that if I'm you, because I can see that instead of making 35, I'm making 80, but I'm working all the time, and that extra $50,000 a year is going to clean up this debt really, really fast. And I'm not tired in that situation. I'm not exhausted. I'm not fatigued to where I can't breathe. I might be tired, but it's a good tired because I'm getting traction and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's not an oncoming train. If you can find energy in the fact that you're going to accomplish the goal and gear back up, then you can clear the debt and you can start to make the moves towards nurse practitioner. The condition that you're in today, where you want to work just a few hours a week, there's no point in going to be a nurse practitioner. Doesn't serve any point, because you're not going to utilize the extra degree to get any extra income. And I would not go to the expense or the trouble to go get the degree, and if that's going to be your plan. But I don't think that's your plan. I think that's you've kind of surrendered because you lost hope that you were ever going to get out.
Dave, and it also sounds, if we had another hour to sit with our friend, it almost sounds like if she brought home an extra $50,000, her husband would have that money spent before that check cashed. And she may just be saying, I'm done. Like, I'm tired of not being on the same page. And so there's something about sitting down and saying, if we're going to get out of debt, we're going to do this thing together.
Yeah. Yeah. The two of you together sit down and say, all right, we're both going to work an extreme number of hours, and we're both going to knock this out in 12 to 18 months. And then I'm going to go get a nurse practitioner degree, and then we're going to go become wealthy. I'm
going to double my salary.
Only 52, and we have 15 years before we're 67. You could build substantial wealth in 15 years if you clear all the debt and you guys create extra incomes, increase your incomes. But simply going back to school as an escape mechanism is not going to work. We see a lot of people do that, and then they've got an escape mechanism with a student loan attached to it. And this is a double dip in, it's a double dip. You just don't want to do it in bad things. So let's just not go there.
Please, please, please don't go borrow money and go back to college right now.
No. Be a bad idea.
Man.
Do sit down with your husband and do say, what if we were to live on beans and rice? What if I was to pick up and double my hours? What if you doubled your hours? What could we do? How fast could we get this done? What do we need to sell? What do we got to do? And when are we going to grow up and be responsible with money and not spend everything we make so that we can retire with some dignity? Because I'm tired of being scared. As a matter of fact, I'm exhausted from being scared. And let's step into that. Do that. That's going to make sense for you. So, hey, hang on. We'll send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover. The two of you could sit down and read it this weekend together, and it'd be life-changing if you got on the same page. There's something really special that goes on when you do that. Dr. John Deloney, good hour. Thanks for being with me.
You got it, man.
All right. And Jenna, Ben, James, Zach, and Andrew are all in the booth making this show happen. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Dr. John Deloney. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.